Are we willing to give up the cages? As you can see from this footage, it's very possible to still witness white sharks without being in a cage. And I find myself spending more time watching the sharks from the top deck of boats than getting within the cages themselves. It's certainly not the same, but it is still mesmerizing watching the sharks moving through the water from above. And although there aren't any collisions here, obviously the cages are presenting the most potential harm to the sharks. So what if we just got rid of them? And I'm not saying that we should or shouldn't. I'm asking you, would you be willing to give up the cages? The raised platforms could still extend over the back and sides of the decks in order for the bait handlers to attract the sharks within sight of the spectators. But now there wouldn't be anything for the sharks to collide with. And of course, since diving outside the cage is illegal, the removal of cages means that people would have to sacrifice seeing the sharks face to face. And for many tourists, looking a great white shark in the eye and surviving, as people like to say, is just too high of a priority to give up. It's an essential part of checking this particular event off of their bucket list. Of course, there's nothing to back up this notion of surviving an encounter with a white shark while you're in the cage, no matter how terrible of a show you've seen on Shark Week that claims that the people in the cage are in danger or that the shark is trying to rip the cage apart to get to them. The divers aren't in danger. And as we've seen too many times, it is the sharks that are at risk of injury. And even when they do get into the cage, all they want to do is get out. Now, don't get me wrong, the desire to see the white shark face to face isn't without merit. Watching them glide past you, especially when they look at you, is a fantastic experience, and it saddens me to even suggest taking that opportunity away from people. But maybe that's what it will take to move forward in the industry. Necessity is the mother of innovation. Maybe we'll see some new types of viewing enclosures created if the existing cages were banned. Again, I'm not saying that the cages should be banned. I'm asking you, would you be willing to give up the experience of being in the cage looking out at the shark and instead just observing them from the top? If cages were banned, would that stop people from going on these trips? The list of ways to see sharks firsthand is pretty limited, so my guess is no. Beggars can't be choosers. People would still head out to see the sharks. Heck, at the Farallon Islands, people don't see them from the cage or the top deck, and that doesn't stop tourists from still going there. So what's your answer? Would you be willing to give up the cages until something better is created?